Are all children created equal? Are they all the same? Do they all need the same things? Can they all excel at the same pace? I have asked myself all of these questions at one time or another, and reflecting on them really made me a better teacher candidate. For this video presentation, I am going to be focusing on the inclusion of students with special needs into regular education classrooms. The artifact that I will be focusing on for the video presentation is a resource policy guide for an IEP, known as an Individual Education Plan. During my practicum experience, my associate teacher always referenced back to this guide, as it is intended to help teachers who are working with students with special needs to develop, implement, and monitor high-quality IEPs. Throughout my practicum classroom, there were many students on IEPs, and at first I wasn't sure how this would affect the entirety of the classroom. Most of these students only required small adaptations and minimal levels of support, although I was able to observe students with more complex needs in other classrooms. But through observation and research, I have found that if inclusion is done right, it will increase students' learning for all students, not just those with special needs. From the moment of school arrival to school departure, developing and implementing an appropriate and fitting IEP is crucial for supporting students' learning and overall success. I, as a current teacher candidate and future teacher, need to do all I can within the walls of the school to help my students as much as I can. I know all of my elementary teachers wanted to stimulate learning and inspire understanding within me, and they achieved this through allowing me to make mistakes. Reflecting back to my personal teaching motto, I always credit Miss Frizzle as her words of "take chances, make mistakes, and get messy" have always resonated with me. Especially as a teacher just starting out, I know I will make mistakes and need to take chances within the classroom in order to see what works and what doesn't. Not only should teachers follow this motto, but students should as well. I have followed this throughout my entire educational journey, and it's a vigorous way of life. Within a literate community, supports are important to move students from where they are to where they can be. This includes differentiating instruction for the variety of ability levels found in today's inclusive classrooms. I want to create a community within my future classroom where students feel comfortable sharing ideas and asking questions. I want to be that teacher to encourage questions while appreciating the journey of learning through mistakes. Especially in inclusive classrooms, I will also need to spend time reflecting on my own vision for teaching and the community that I want to create within my classroom as recommended by Thomas Ryan in Week 10's course reading. Reflective practice can enable practitioners to learn from experience about themselves, their work, and the way they relate to home and work, significant others, and wider society and culture. In Week 10, this quote from Bolton really resonated with me as it enabled me to explore and experiment with areas of experience difficult otherwise to approach. I will do my best to embed creative thinking into all of my assessments because I know that multiple modes of representation is the foundation for an inclusive and successful classroom. But I wouldn't be knowledgeable on this without the trial and error that I did during my practicum. While teaching students with learning disabilities during my practicum, I was presented with some unique and distinctive challenges. Not only do these students demand more of your time and patience, they also require specialized instructional strategies while in a structured environment. The Individual Education Plan policy text that I chose as my artifact for this video presentation provided me with ample supports which enhanced my students' learning potential. I learned from this text that students with learning disabilities are not students who are unable to learn. Rather, they need differentiated instruction tailored to their distinctive learning abilities. Through making mistakes, I was able to discover a great deal of information about my students that I would have never been able to otherwise if I didn't take chances, make mistakes, and get messy within the classroom.